bring us some.
We're going to work on it.
Are you allowed to bring it across the borders? Or what? Or
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 I just got to package it. You know, I got to make sure it's safe when you're canning. So I'm working on that right now. This week, actually, I'm going to be doing trying to cook it. I'm going to try to cook it. I'm going to see how that tastes, you know, because I like it fresh. That's my main goal. So.
Right. Oh, I see some awesome people joining us. Great. You guys are going to have to help keep the conversation going. It's not going to all be on me because we've done a lot of teaching and to process things. So if you could put your camera on, that'd be great. Love to see you.
Well, since we're waiting, I can show you. Here's my jar.
Oh my God.
This is one of my jars, 16 ounces. This is all by myself, so that's my label.
Nice.
And where the yellow is, it says St. Croix Local Farmer, Paula Prince, refrigerate after opening. So this is one of them. This is, somebody's been dabbling on this. This is theirs. They left it, but just so you see.
I want that.
I love the name and the branding. It's so cool.
It looks great. I love it. Michelle, I think we need to go down to St. Croix, don't we?
I know, right? I can't wait to just like try all these delicious dishes from Paula. She's amazing in the kitchen.
You better cook for us.
Oh, I will. I love to cook. That's the name of one of my pages. I love to cook. So yes, that would be an honor.
Near here. And so I was saying to Gwen and the New Mexico crew, they're all getting together for a conference, and Gwen is putting together healthy dishes. So I said, oh, we should talk to Paula. Awesome. Okay, well, I know that Kathy had a question. So today we're gonna do like question and answer, see how people are doing, what are you guys up to in your business, things like that. So please come up with some things you want to talk about. I do have some things written down, but Kathy had a question to start us off. And so let's go there, Kathy, about the Tower Garden.
Okay, my question is where people buy their seeds, and are they having good luck with their seeds? And I just bought some rock wool from Amazon. I want to start some more. And what are their favorite things to grow in the Tower Garden?
Go ahead, guys.
Well,
Okay, Kathy.
Oh, you can go, Gwen.
Okay, Kathy. I know that johnnyseeds.com is an excellent resource for the seeds. And they have the non-GMO ones. And I think Doug said you can get them in pellet form there. So they're easier to count out into the rock wool. So you don't get 60 in a pour, because some of them are micro small, and they're very hard to do. So they come in a pellet form, and they're easier to put in the rock wool.
Okay.
And then you're growing inside?
Yes.
Okay. I like all the herbs because they're easy to grow. I love arugula and Swiss chard and any kale. They all grow so good inside. And the herbs are abundant, right? You get a ton of herbs.
Okay. What about romaine?
I don't do romaine, but I think Gloria does. Janie, do you?
I have done it before and it does well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Lettuces all grow really well. Spinach is hard for me because it has to be cold.
Yeah.
So
Right.
spinach is hard. So if you have a cold place and you're growing cold, then you could try spinach.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about rainbow chard? I've had good luck with that too.
Yeah, rainbow chard, all of those are.
Yeah. And I'm doing an indoor diva cucumber right now. And I've got a lot of little tiny cucumbers. We'll see if they get bigger.
Does that mean a small one? Indoor diva? What is that?
Diva is self-pollinating.
That's good.
Yeah,
Diva? Is that what you said?
diva. Diva, D-I-V-A.
I never heard of
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
Yep. We'll see. It pollinated, and I have little tiny cucumbers, but I think your water source, when you're indoors, you got to be careful. Like we live in the West, so we have water softener, which is adding salt to it. So I use the RV filter, but I find that I get better results if I run my hose farther. We have you find a spigot that's not softened, and we have one outside. And so I get much better results if I use the RV filter, but do not use your indoor softened water.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some seedlings I can show you guys that we're doing. I don't know where you get your diva ones though, Jamie. So if you know what website.
It was True Garden.
So for those of you who might be wondering, so there's romaine. Can you guys see that? Am I doing this good?
Good see it.
You can see it.
Yeah, we can see.
So we got romaine, bib, Cherokee, crisp, and then cilantro, arugula. Can you see this? Blue kale, red kale, tiny Tim tomatoes, some other kinds of tomatoes. So we ordered like a box of Rockwell from the company. And then we get the seeds from that tiny Tim place because it is easier with the pellets because you could just put one by one in there. And they seem to grow really well. And once they sprout, then we put them outside for the sun. That answer all your questions, Kathy?
Yes. I also was curious about
Lettuce.
uh-oh. I was also curious about the tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. I was told that they don't have to, you don't have to have several plants. You can just do one. Have you guys heard that's true?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it depends on how big your family is, but I think one viney one that works is good. You guys agree?
Agreed. They say no more than 1 tomato per tower anyway, so.
Okay.
Is it-
That's what I thought.
Oh yeah, you just got yours.
I have
Yes.
two, but they're on opposite ends.
Oh, you got how many?
I have 2 tomatoes, but they're on opposite ends.
Yeah, you
of
can
the
have
tower.
2 viney plants on a tower garden. It's just those are the ones that might attract hornworms. Those are the ones that take up more water, so the viney plants are a little more maintenance. They need more sun. So it's just, you got to be a little more careful with those.
Thank you so much.
All right, so today we're doing like question and answer, getting to know each other. If you guys don't already know each other, I know we've got some people on here who we might not know so well. So we'd love to hear from you and your questions, about sharing Juice Plus or just in general how the business works, whatever you want to ask. Today's the day. So we've got a question. Katie would love to know what people's lead time is for when they connect with a new prospect, an old friend or whoever, to when they actually introduce Juice Plus when they're not in person.
Okay, let me explain more. That might have been confusing. So say like you're reaching out to new people on Facebook who you haven't connected with in years. So like old college or high school friends. So you reach out to them, you start the conversation, and then how long is it before you introduce Juice Plus to them? Because I feel like I get overly excited and I want to just, kind of word vomit and tell them everything right then and there, especially when we're catching up and they say, hey, what are you doing now? But then I feel like after I tell them, it's always radio silence. So I'm interested to hear what people's lead time is between when they reach out to a new person to when they actually introduce Juice Plus, when they're reconnecting with old friends or whoever it may be.
What if it's not a lead time? What if it's what you say?
I could say that people usually ask me because I post a lot about the Tower Garden. I do like morning pruning,
I'm talking about other things, and I might walk past my tower, and then I have to stop because it's so beautiful. When I got back from St. John, I was gone for like 4 days, and uh, I didn't think about asking anybody to water, like, you know, a couple of plants, but everything was just so sad and dry. But my tower was booming, so I was like, I have to show it off, you know. So I just go right in on it. It took me about a month and a half to finally get someone to agree to get a tower garden, and they're getting 2. October 8th, I have the credit card information and everything. So I'm I'm like, okay, because she said September, it didn't happen, but you know what? I don't let my bubbles burst. And then she called and said, you know what? I just been really busy, but here's all my information. Just go ahead and do it on, October 8th. I said, well, I'm gonna remind you. You know, I don't want nobody to be like, oh my God, I forgot. So I'm gonna remind her like in 2 days that it's gonna happen. And so, you know, I want it quick, but I just keep doing my thing, and eventually people are like, I want to do that. I have to do it. It's working so good for you. So that's how I do it immediately. I guess that's the answer. Immediately.
Okay, who else? When you're connecting with an old friend or relative, how long until you tell them about Juice Plus?
Hi, I tell them right away. I mean, if it's an old friend, I don't call them and just immediately start talking about it. But as the conversation continues, when it's natural to talk about what's happening, especially what's going on in the world today, you know, it's very natural to say, well, what are you guys doing for your nutrition? Or what are you doing to stay healthy? And that starts the conversation. So I don't beat around the bush. I go right to it when it's natural.
Yeah, I agree, Nailani. I also think that it, you know, I try to, of course, it's going to come up like what you do. So I always share what I do, and then I kind of leave it at that, because I don't want that to take over the conversation, and I don't want them to think that's why I'm getting in touch with them, because I think that that's been like an issue I've had in the past. So I just bring it up when it's natural, and then try to expose them as much to what I do, like through live videos or posts on Facebook. And then, you know, it typically comes up later in conversation, you know, whether I invite them to an event or maybe they bring it up and say, well, you know, I'm interested in this product, or I'm interested in getting healthier. Can you help me with that? Or, you know, it just kind of naturally progresses to becoming a customer, if that's the way it's going to go. But I usually bring it up pretty much right when I start the conversation. like Nailani said, when it becomes naturally at a good point in the conversation.
I think what you guys are saying, though, is when you're talking to them on the phone, not through like Messenger or texting, right? Isn't it a lot more comfortable when you're actually talking to them? Writing?
Are you on Zoom? Yeah, now I'm on Zoom. Oh, sorry.
That's a good question. You know, I'm thinking that when it's a conversation, when there's back and forth, then and it does feel natural. It doesn't really matter if it's voice or if it's in writing, but definitely in writing, I would not come out with it unless it, like we said, unless it feels right, unless there's a back and forth conversation. So it's not just all coming from me, but I'm responding to what they're saying, and especially if I ask questions. You know, asking questions that you want the answer for, but not that you're fishing to try to find a way to bring it in, because a person can sense when you're not genuine in a hot minute. So when I'm asking questions, I'm genuinely concerned, And so that it becomes natural even when you're texting or messaging.
Well, one thing that I do is I probe a lot. And if somebody calls me, if I'm reconnected with somebody, it's like I just finished a walk.
Okay, I think Bella was talking, but then she disappeared.
You can hear me better. What I do is I probe a lot. If an old time friend or somebody I haven't spoken to in a while would call or even Facebook me, and they'll ask me, "Hey, what are you doing?" Well, I just came from a walk, or I'm gardening. And what is that? And then there is the intro where you can go and say, "I'm doing this," or you want to hear more about it. So you just probe and ask questions, but let your life lead. And definitely the curiosity is there. That's it.
Hey, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so thank you guys because I have been getting customers. So it's been really good. I actually got 5 customers in 2 days. So but my question is, when you speak to someone and they say send them the link, how exactly would you follow up without like making it seem like you're like pushing the sale or trying to convince them?
Well, do you want to answer that, Michelle? I saw that you were on, so I thought that.
I'm on, but I'm having a lot of technical issues. I got 2 devices going on.
Oh, okay.
And then he was breaking up, so I wasn't sure if it was me or him.
Yeah, you are.
The question was, how do I, how to...
You are breaking up, Michelle. Yeah, and now you're frozen for a second.
That's why I'm going back and forth. I'm going back to my phone.
And if I muted anybody, it was because there was a weird extra sound. So just unmute whenever it's your time. I mean, keep unmuted unless I need you. It might be, I don't know. But anyway, I want you guys to be able to talk. So Antoine, that's awesome that you already got 5 customers, and I'm sure with Dr. Nalani's help. So that is awesome. And if they talked to you and they were interested and you gave them a video because they were interested, then that's okay to follow up as soon as possible. You could say, I want to follow up with you as soon as you hear the video so that it's fresh in your mind. So I know for me, I listen to a video and then a day later, I might not even remember what I was listening to unless you refresh my memory. But
well, I'm saying it was actually after they watched the video, we had a conversation, and then they told me to send them the link of the package they wanted.
Oh, okay. So sometimes when you put the ball in their court, it's not as quick for them to order than if you get the order yourself. So for me, I'm an old dog, so it's hard to teach me new tricks. The new trick is to get people to order from a link. But right now, what I do is I say, go ahead and send me all your information except your credit card. I'm going to put the order in for you. I'm going to call you really quickly. Just get your credit card because nobody really wants to talk on the phone, right? So I just say, send me all your information. I tell them name, address, phone number, email, and what you want if you know what you want. Otherwise, we'll talk about it on the phone, but then I'll give you a call to get your credit card. That way it keeps the ball in my court, and I feel like I can follow up, and it's going to go faster. If you send a link to somebody, they don't always order it right away.
Yes.
So that's the only problem with that. And you could just say, hey, are you having any problems with the link? I found out I can take the order for you today. I just need blah, 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 and I can give you a call.
Oh, okay.
Because
yes, beautiful. Thank you. Okay.
Over the internet. Okay, good. Glad you're on here. Welcome to the team. Okay, and Heather, tell us about what you do.
Hey, I don't have very good signal, so I don't know if you can hear me okay. Okay, so basically I try to or lately I've been trying to do this more, and I feel like I'm having a better result with it, but I try to immediately ask, and I give 2 different times. So, I want to follow up with you. Would, tomorrow at 4 be good, or tomorrow at 5 be good, or something like that. Or would Friday be better? Something to where it's like they have to make a choice, and that way they're already, they get a heads up of understanding that I am going to follow up with them. And what is it? The fortune is in the follow-up, isn't it the thing? And sometimes you have to follow up like 9 times in order to even get that, the sale. Isn't that right, Sharon?
Yes, unfortunately, it's terrible numbers, but yeah. And it's not to stalk people that don't want to hear from you. They actually have led us to believe we're not solicitors, right? They've actually told us they want more information. So that's the ground you stand on. If you've had a conversation, you've sent a video, and they've said, oh, I'm excited, I want this, whatever, that's where you always come back to, hey, I know you were excited. Would love to help you get more fruits and vegetables for your family. I would love to help, get your options, for you, whatever. And that way you're always leaning back on their excitement, and you're not getting discouraged as if you're a solicitor. We're not cold market solicitors. We're actually following up with people who are telling us they need help. And so our job is kind of to push people off a fence of indecision. Nobody really likes to be in indecision, and so we're a facilitator to get them off the fence and get them started. So if you think of yourself that way, and it doesn't have to be 9 follow-ups, it just depends. It can be, and it doesn't have to be follow-ups per se. It could be that they went to their sister's house and they had Juice Plus, or they saw on the news fruits and vegetables are good for you. So sometimes it's the number of exposures, but also we have to follow up for sure. We won't get any orders unless we follow up, and we won't get paid or move up if we don't get orders, right? So following up is super important. There is information and scripts on it on the freedomrevolution.com too. Thank you, Heather, for pointing that out. Do you have anything else?
I have a question that goes along with that.
Good.
So I had someone, and this has happened to me before too, where someone had reached out to me saying that they've seen what I do, they're really interested, they want to get Juice Plus for their kids, and they've told me that right off the bat. And then after giving them information and educating them more and having multiple conversations, there's still no order placed, and now she's not responding to any of my messages. So when something like that happens, how many messages do you leave before you just stop and take a step back and just leave it alone?
Okay, Heather's got some good verbiage for you. So go ahead, Heather. Why don't you go ahead and verbally say it too?
All right.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, well, I try to usually send a follow-up message, a couple of times. I even stretch it to sometimes 3 or 4 times before I'll send that message I just sent, I'll finally end up saying, I'm so sorry to bother you again. I don't want to be a pest, or I feel like I'm being a pest, or something like that. But I just would love to hear what you thought about what I sent you. I would love to connect with you, or even sometimes I'll just completely, I'll use that verbiage, but if I don't use that verbiage, I'll just kind of like completely change the subject altogether. And I'll go creep on their Facebook page or something and find something to reach out to them for. Like if they have kids or something and they made a post about that, I'll reach out in a message and say, oh my gosh, I just saw your post about your kids. They're so cute, or something like that. And that usually will kind of get them to start a conversation. But also really once I post or send them that message about being a pest, that usually gets them to respond right away too. Because they're like, oh, no, I don't want you to feel like that. I'm just so busy or whatever. And that kind of gets the conversation going back again sometimes too. And then sometimes they don't respond at all. So after that, if I send that message, I kind of leave it alone after a while.
Somebody else want to comment on Katie's scenario?
I will. I think you and Michelle both said the other day that, I think one of your follow-ups was hey, did you happen to get my last message? Or did you see that I had messaged you?
Yes. And then Jennifer Crispin says she takes it away. Like, I get it. This might not be a good time for you, whatever. But in my opinion, it's like normal nowadays. It's so terrible, but it's so normal. Like, if I don't want to make a decision about my Norwex purchase, I just might not answer. Sorry. It's like I have a million things to do. And when the Norwex lady texts me over and over, it's like, I know she's going to text me again. I know I can always go back to that text and answer her back. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's not about you. It's about the people and what they're trying to do or trying to think of, or they're overwhelmed, or they just can't make that decision right now. So it might just be, money, or they're overwhelmed. They don't want to make that decision right now. Maybe you could even ask them, is this something you want to do now, or you want to table it for a week or two? You just say, hey, I wanted to remind you because on the 30th, the extra bag of shake thing is running out, but, you'll still always be able to get the child portion free. A little bit of a takeaway, like Jennifer's saying on the last one. What do you think, Michelle? All these things, now that you're back in action there.
Well, I liked all the suggestions, especially Heather's, and just saying I don't want to feel like a pest after at least 5 or 6 times. But yeah, I do use a lot. Did you get my last message? And sometimes I just leave it alone for a little while, maybe a month or more. And then somehow they come back to mind because I have my list, and I go back and I check the list and I'm like, oh, let me reach back out. And then I'll say, oh my gosh, you know what? I realized we never finished our conversation. Like, I'll just act like they totally didn't ghost me. So I'll say, I realized we never finished our conversation about whatever it was. And sometimes by that point, they'll come back around because they're probably in a whole different mood a month later. So that's just something that I use. And then
Wow, that's a great one, Michelle. I like that one. Oh, we didn't finish the conversation. Well, what I usually
put the blame on yourself.
Exactly. And sometimes if it's been several times that I've connected and they haven't responded, then well, no, there are 2 scenarios. So the first one is if I've connected with them a couple of times and they haven't really they were not ready, then I would say, listen, there's no rush. This is not to rush you. There's no rush at all. I would just like to keep you in the loop because we're learning so much about the connection between nutrition and disease. Would it be okay? Would you be open for me at least just sending you, well, I don't even say at least. Would you be open for me sending you a video every now and then for some of the great things that we're learning? And they always say yes. So that gives me permission to keep them in the loop and to continue to educate them. Because as Eric Worre says, really, he says the only reason to connect with a person is to give them another resource. So if they had enough resources, that's one thing. But if they are not even opening your resources or they're not watching it, then that's another one. And that's when I put them on that list that Michelle talks about to come back later. Because I like to say too, you know what? It's not about buying a product. It's the information that I think is so powerful. So if that's okay, and I get their permission.
Yep, I like that. I also wanted to mention too, I saw someone had a question about the shakes and people not liking the shakes. And that has been a reason I kind of don't like to send samples of the shake. I really like to make the shake for people. But it can be hard if they're not in your same city. But if they're not in the same city and I send them shake, I usually like to send them a specific recipe. That way, because I know when I make the shake, it tastes like dessert. I don't understand how they don't like the shake. And as picky of an eater as I am, if I like the shake, majority of people should like the shake. I'm that person on the other end of the spectrum where I'm usually like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like this. And I've been drinking the shake for 9 years. So it just like boggles my mind when someone tells me they don't like the shake and then go buy one of those store-bought ones that I swear, I feel like every store-bought shake I've purchased tastes so bad. It's so horrible. So maybe whatever you do share, like shake with people, or if they do purchase, give them really specific recipes. It got really dark in my house. I think it's competing with the light. Or if you have the option, make shake for them, because when I make shake for people, they're like all over it. And my kids act like the shake is dessert every day. So I'll just suggest that, Melissa.
Yeah, can you hear me? Do I have to hold my phone up? No.
I can hear you.
Yeah, it's weird. I've actually done that. I sent samples and like I wrote out like, make an energy bite, make this shake. I don't know. But I think the same thing. Like, I don't know why people don't like them, but
which shake?
I do have what?
Which shake and what recipe?
I don't know. Vanilla one, I actually sent the card that came with my last shipment. Chocolate, I gave them a couple just to, I didn't know what they'd like. But the one mom that Jules just sent to, she just said she makes shakes all the time anyway, so maybe her kids are just used to hers, but they love the gummies. But I do have a friend at work here that I might look into returning her shakes. She said it was her second order, and she said she had the poops like bad, and she would take them for a while and then like try to get through, because I was like, that can happen, like I think it happened to me. And she was like, I just kept doing it and it wasn't getting any better. And I suggested different things. I gave her different things to try. Maybe don't eat the whole thing.
I have had the same problem with my customers in the shake, and I have had like 2 or 3 that say that they have had terrible gas. And I mean, I know why, and it usually is typically the like that period of time when you're detoxing. But I just can't get them over that hump to get them to continue with it. So I don't know if anyone has that experience and if they've done anything to try to get their people through that. But like some of my people have diverticulitis, which I know it's that's a touchy point. I don't really know enough about that and how the shakes affect those types of people to really speak to it. So I don't know if anyone else has any suggestions.
I'd love to talk about that. I actually searched that in that Juice Plus Complete group, whatever the name of that is. And there was people that complained about that there was people that had more gas issues with the chocolate than the vanilla. I'm not sure why, but one of my very good friends has been ordering the shake for a long time. And she and her husband, I would normally say like, oh, it's detox, but it goes on anytime she drinks chocolate shake, she has gas. And they're vegan, excuse me. You know what I mean? Like she eats pretty darn healthy. But one of the things I did see is that one of the suggestions was taking a probiotic with the shake. So trying to get your gut health into a little bit better, because I'm sure she's not perfect, right? She's vegan, but she still eats processed foods and whatever. So maybe a probiotic would help. I don't know. I don't think my friend ever tried that, but that was one of the suggestions that was there.
So something I've experienced from customers and just with my own self when I started, because I know a lot of you know my story, but I had really severe stomach issues. And when I started taking the shakes, I don't remember necessarily being gassy or whatever, but I had really bad stomach pains from it whenever I would drink it. And I know like certain family members and other customers had similar things. And a lot of times it was whatever they were mixing it with. So like for my mom, for example, my dad was just using regular cow's 2% milk and he was fine. But when she used it, she would get really bad stomach aches. And then when she switched to almond milk, it was a little less. And now she's on oat milk and she has no problems with it. And I've heard similar things to that as well, where it just depends on what you're mixing it with.
I think there's several like different, what do you call it? different things that may be causing issues in people. Because we were having a conversation about this on a chat this weekend, and someone else was saying that their customers suffer from more extreme gas. And she said she did it first too. And she said she was mixing hers in a Vitamix, and she used to notice a lot of bubbles when she did blend hers. And she wasn't sure if that might have been causing it, because those extra bubbles obviously are gas, right? And then you're going to drink it, and that's going to be gas in your stomach. So I don't know if blenders might be one thing. Definitely what they're mixing it with. The fact that they may not be able to digest soy, or maybe because she mentioned when she first started on the shake, she had issues, but then she always takes Beano because she has an issue digesting beans, and now she has no issues. So there's like so many different factors that could be a part of it. And then my mom has diverticulitis, but she can drink the shake. She just cannot add like strawberries or raspberries, anything with a seed that may fall into the pocket of their intestine. That's what causes all the pain with diverticulitis. But for the shake itself, because the shake is kind of like already, feel like is it pre-digested for us, Sharon? Like the way that it's blended?
Oh, that's pre-digested. I know Juice Plus is.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but my mom has no issues drinking the shake with like other fruits and veggies in it, but if it has those fruits and vegetables that irritate her gut, then she can't. So just be cautious of what they're mixing in their shake if they have diverticulitis.
So, and I would love Nalani to speak to this too. There's, oh gosh, the two kinds of fiber. Why can't I think? Oh, soluble and insoluble fiber. And sometimes people don't always have both in their diet. So it is sometimes a detox or getting used to the shake too. I always send the bowel training or the detox article if anybody's having any problems with any of our products, because we know that it's good for them, that if they get past the hump, mostly. If they're breaking out in hives or something, then that's a problem, probably. But usually it's not that. It's usually they're just uncomfortable, but they're probably not taking in as much fiber usually as the Juice Plus kind of diet, So, and whenever I would do presentations, I would talk about how much fiber we actually need in our diet. Our diet to have optimal health is like 50 grams of fiber. Well, in like a Happy Meal, there's like no fiber, So sometimes people are going from having hardly any fiber to finally having fiber or phytonutrients. So sometimes you just have to keep that in account and send them those two articles. I have them in my favorites on my phone. So if you don't have that, ask your sponsor or leader to give you that. Nalani, what do you say about this with the shake? If you have somebody that's got a problem with the shake.
Okay, somebody with a really loud car just went by. I'm glad they moved before you asked me. Well, it's been said, really. A lot of times, though, people don't consider everything else that they're doing, whether, what they're eating, what they're accustomed to. And the first thing they think, or jump to is, oh, it must be the Juice Plus, or it must be the shake, because that's the only thing new that they're doing. But I really don't know what else to say, because you said exactly what I was going to say. The bowel training that Wendy Campbell gives a good one, has one out there. And a lot of the time I say, you start with a little bit, and then little by little you increase it, because it can be a detoxing situation. It can be a probiotic situation. It can be a lack of enzymes in the body, and you're just not accustomed to all this live enzymic activity. So you take it little by little, but you know that it's something good that you're adding. It's nothing that's to harm you. So in order to get the body accustomed to what's good for you, sometimes you have to go easy, little by little. And that way you find a person has a genuine allergy, for instance. Like people are allergic to soy, but they pretty much know that already. So it's on a case-by-case situation.
I also think it's something that people are not used to, and then they generally, I think humans should probably poop probably 2 to 3 times, maybe even more a day. And people don't know that. And so I think it's maybe if there's an article out there that speaks to that, that would be helpful for me to share, because I had one of my friends tell me that she poops once a week. And all I'm thinking is, you need this stuff so badly. But people are afraid of, I don't know, it's like a bodily function, very embarrassing for people. But it's so, we realize that you need to do that to cleanse your body. So I don't know if there's maybe some type of education that we can share with people about that. That might be helpful for me.
I remember Susan Silberstein, the dietitian from Center for Advancement in Cancer Education, was somebody who we would always hear that in the lecture, you know. But do you guys remember any videos that it's on, that you've heard it? I'm not sure. Stacy, do you remember any? I mean, I'm sure, I mean, I've heard it over and over in lots of lectures, but I don't remember an exact video. But I did.
No, but I think that the bowel training by Wendy Campbell is excellent.
I just posted that in Team Cancer Facebook. Those two I keep on my phone for whoever needs it all the time. All right, well, let's have some more questions. What else is going on? Product questions, business questions, sharing questions.
This isn't really a question, but I just thought I'd share, and you all may know this already, but Amy Getz shared with me that if you have someone who's interested in ordering, rather than just sending them your regular business link, to go into your virtual office and actually like go in like you're going to start an order, and then hold your finger, your thumb or whatever over the top link, so that you can send them that specific link. Like I just had one who wanted to start, you know, the Healthy Starts campaign. So that's what I did. I went into my website and acted like I got to the right spot, so she didn't have to search through my website and try to find the right spot. And then when I was at the Healthy Starts page, I held my finger over it to copy that specific link and then sent that in a text. And that's more helpful, so they don't have to like scroll through everything. So I don't know if you may have known that already, but I thought I'd share that.
Thank you, Janie. I did just hear that recently, which is fantastic. But I did wonder, is that cart feature available yet? Because I had someone, no, it's not, okay. But I did have a question for you, Sharon. When you said a minute ago that when you put someone's order in, you get all the information except for the credit card. Is it not recommended to have them send their credit card info and then delete it right away? How do you typically do that?
So the PCI agreement that we signed says we're not going to do any of that electronically, because I don't know how hackers do things, but that's just a safety measure. So yeah, I mean, if they do, and some people do send it to me, definitely delete it right away, but it's on their text, it's on your text, it went through some kind of process. So it's just better, you know, to not have that happen where they're sending credit cards or even pictures of credit cards. I know they like to do that too. They want to avoid conversation as much as possible nowadays, a lot of people. So yeah, but as far as putting the things in the cart, we don't have that feature yet. Some people do, they're in the beta testing or whatever. But our virtual office is coming out in October, just so you know. They said that they could have released it in September, but there was like an extra problem that they're gonna handle, and you know, it's gonna be released in October. So I don't know what's gonna happen with the cart and all that. But what Janie said in the beginning was virtual office, then she said website. So I'm pretty sure she means your own juiceplus.com website. You go find the trio, and then you click on that URL and send that to somebody in text if that's how you want to send the link. Right,
Yes,
Janie?
thanks for catching that.
But right now, you don't want to have them sign up on the website for the family health study because they can't get the free shake that way. You have to take the order to do that. Unless they sign up for the trio, then you say, okay, now what do you want for your child? I got to convert it and I got to put in an order basically. So right now till the 30th, I wouldn't do any family health studies on youthplus.com.
But I think that's a really strong point that you made, Sharon, that it really facilitates getting that order rather than putting it on hold until they're ready to do it or until they remember to do it. If you get all that information right up front, say, hey, and get off the phone. Hey, listen, just give me everything except for your credit card. I'll do it for you. Just like you said, I love that because it facilitates the deal. It just gets it done.
I mean, I had a huge texting back and forth with this lady over the weekend. I'll just tell you how it went. Hi, you had messaged me after receiving a text from Dr. Sirota about getting Juice Plus for my daughter. She's 4. I'd like to order. So I'm like laying in bed watching a movie on Saturday. I'm not really in the mood to talk, and I don't know the she is either. So I said, okay, I can give you a call. Go ahead and put your name, address, phone. I mean, she already said she wanted to order, right? Go ahead and put your name, address, phone number, and email in here. I will call you for your credit card and to find out what you would like. That's what I did. So she gave me her name, address, email, and then she says, I prefer to talk in a bit. I'm not able to talk, but I can text right now. I said, okay, great. And then I told her about the family health study. Would she like to do that? What's the price? So then I end up telling her the price, but then sending her the order form. I also have that on text, so she can look at that. You know, as I'm talking about the price, I go ahead and send that. And then we talk some more about the berries. And then she's asking about elderberry and berries. So then I send her the, whatever that's called, the laminate basically with the 4. And then I said above is what's in each blend. So she currently takes an elderberry gummy with the berry replace it. Now you got to be careful. You don't want to take people vitamins away from them. They're supplements. So I said, that's up to you. There is definitely elderberry in the berry blend and other great nutrients. Okay. And I sent her Bridging the Gap. So, I mean, this was an ongoing text conversation. And then she said that would be 6 gummies, right? Blah, blah, blah. And then anyway, then she wants to know, you know, do they have plans or more discounts if there's 2 adults? Because I told her about the family health study. So then I said my suggestion, if you want to get the whole family on Juice Plus, take advantage of blah, blah, blah. So anyway, this is still going on text. But then eventually she did call me because remember, she said she couldn't at the time. I would have said, let's just talk because this was going on quite a while. And so anyway, I ended up talking to her. We figured out what she wanted. And then I had forgotten to ask for the date of birth of the child. I heard her saying her daughter's name in the background. So I knew the daughter's name. And anyway, so I still need the date of birth. But that's another thing you need if you're going to do that. But I did not need to stay on the phone very long with her because I'd already texted back and forth while, you know, probably watching a movie. So it's, you know, just one way of doing the business. It's not always how, you know, we do it. But that way you can move people along and not have to say, okay, now what's your address? What's your email and all that? Have them text it to you. They don't mind.
Sharon, there's quite a few things that you said that you send to them that you already have access to right there. I know there are several things that I have on notes on my homepage in my phone. Would you go over how to put things on your homepage of your phone? Because when we are accustomed to it and we say, well, I send them the such and such, and sometimes I am in conversation and while I'm having the conversation, I say, oh yes, would you like me some? Deep, 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 deep. Oh yeah, you should have it by now. You know, really that quickly, it's there. So how can we help people who don't know how to put that on their homepage? Because I have a notepad, you know, I have notes and I just have the links that I put on my notes. But I don't know how else to tell them to do it.
Are you talking about a team member having the virtual office on their homepage? I mean, on their shortcuts?
That too, but I'm talking about potential customers who are looking for information about Juice Plus. So I have, you know, my favorite Juice Plus video and I have my favorite research and a towel garden, all 3 videos in one place, in one message on my on the home page of my phone, in my notepad. So it just says, what is Juice Plus? And it has these 3 things. And along with that, it says, you know, we eat them all. It just depends on which one you like, you get to choose. And I send that to them. So, but it's on my phone already, so I don't have to look for the links. So
Right.
how do you get yours? How do you put yours on your homepage?
Okay, I'm sure everybody, I don't know why you keep saying homepage.
Oh, well, on your phone, you know, on the page of, you know, when you open up your phone, that's what I consider the homepage, where I have all of the icons and the folders.
But as for the pictures, I think she means photo album, like on your phone too. Like you create an album with like the order form and all that stuff.
Oh, not in my photo album. I never thought of that.
That's really where I keep my favorites. So in my albums, you know, you have certain albums, right?
Oh, so that's in your phone, in your images, in your gallery. Okay,
Yeah.
that's different
I
for
do
you.
favorites for like the visual stuff, the order form, the trio blend versus whatever, Tower Garden picture. So,
Okay.
and I clean that up every once in a while, you know, or the bullet point list of our business. And Michelle and I think both of us have made an album in Team Transformers saying, or I think it was Arlene too, have made an album putting these pictures in there. Okay, Team Transformers Facebook. And I think I even recently updated it. I could be delusional, I'm not sure. But I think I did. And anyway, that's one way. But as far as sending videos, you know, I go into text and I just start typing bridging because I like bridging the gap. So there's a search bar there. You see the search bar? And I'll just start typing bridging. And with the new iPhone, they actually give me it where I don't have to go into a conversation. They actually give me it down there. It used to be I'd need to go into one of these conversations and I would then forward it. But it actually now lets me just go there. Does that make sense? But I also, I mean, I have it everywhere. I have it in my notes. You know, I'm one of the most discombobulated people you know, okay? I have 1 million notes. So I have 3,887 notes. So if I go into my notes and I type bridging, I know it's in there. So it says, watch these 2 videos. I've shortened my thing that I send to people because I've already had a conversation with them. It says, watch these 2 videos to learn more because I've already talked to them. Bridging the Gap, and then now I've got Dr. David Phillips. But I mean, I do Dana Roberto too. It depends on what. Or here's the I recommend. See, so I typed in bridging in my notes, but here's I recommend. Oops, I guess I didn't have my I recommend part up there. Oh yeah, there it is. I recommend the Juice Plus Trio blend of fruits, vegetables, and berries. Also, their phenomenal shake. This is what I've taken for years and will not do without. And there's the links below. So I keep that in my notes, and then I keep those pictures in my photo album.
Nalani, do you have in your notes, do you have like, I guess different albums? Like I have so many different, okay. Yeah, so that makes it so easy for me. Like I can go, oh, complete, and then I just go into notes complete, and then boom, it's there.
Yeah, don't have to search for it. It's there.
Right.
My conversation with it, as well as the links, are all right there. And within seconds, they have it.
Okay, Karen, did you say like the folders section?
So in the folders, yep.
So you make a Juice Plus or a complete one?
So I have, I mean, yeah, I don't have as many as you, thankfully, but I'm on my way. I mean, I have like athlete info, blitz stuff from like when we're doing blitzes, right? Business capsules, complete congrats for like when team members do stuff, you know, customer orders. Like I have all kinds of, you know, the thing that I need to now break down, I will share with you is videos because we get so many great Zooms that are recorded. And you know, by, you know, and Wendy Campbell's will come and, you know, Dr. David Phillips. And so now I save them all here. And that's the only one that it takes me time to kind of scroll through. So I think I need to find out how to kind of subcategorize that one. I don't know how yet, but yeah, so this makes it so, you know, social media, shred 10, the research, prospect texts. I even have a tab for like events. So when I'm, you know, when we've got an event going on, I have like the verbiage there, and I can just, you know, oh, you want to, you know, let me send you this thing for the event, and I go in there and bam, I can just send it. So I don't have to like type up something.
So is your phone?
I'm sorry?
So is your phone with your folders?
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to do that with events. I need to have a place for all the events so I can invite people.
Yeah, and then so
That's
like this morning I was doing customers. I need to break out customers too. So I also have several different, this is like customer information, but also when I'm going to follow up to say your order is shipping. So I have like, I save a lot of stuff. So I even have an image for like Merry Christmas, your order is going to be shipping, and I can go in there and pick different things. So they're not getting the same image and then, you know, not getting the same stuff all the time.
Hey ladies, do any of you guys have a Samsung phone? Because I honestly, I'm so glad you brought this up, Nilani, because I can't even find the notes on my phone. So anybody have any of that, or does everyone pretty much have iPhones?
I have an Android.
Do you? And it's clear like where you can find the notes at? Because I can't find it. So.
I have a Google Pic. It's called Keep Notes. It's not called Notepad. It's Keep Notes, right?
Mine on my Samsung phone says Samsung Notes.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I'll keep searching.
But in my old Samsung, I think it was called Memo Pad or something like that, or Memo.
Okay.
That's where my notes were.
So Jamie, I don't know if on your phone, I switched to an iPhone years ago because, you know, Sharon and Doug, it seemed like everybody had an iPhone and it just was easier. But I don't know if you can pull the screen down and do like a search thing. Gwen, does it have it? Then you can go in there and search notes and then find it.
Okay, that's an idea too. All right, thank you.
Right up in the top where it says Finder Search.
Okay.
And you can put in just notes and it should pop up.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. So the whole point is that it's easily accessible and you don't have to type. You just go to it, copy, and paste it in the text while we're talking.
Yeah, I totally need that because I spend so much time looking for things and then I can't remember the right verbiage. And so I've got to totally get that set up.
You can always go into your text you've done in the past and make notes from that. You know, go into spend some time and make your notes or make a Word document, whatever you want, so that you have things that you've already used. So I have a couple of announcements. So next week we're not having lunch and learn, so everyone can focus in on the conference activities, okay? So no lunch and learn Monday, Wednesday, Friday, although Friday is, I think, at the same time as our lunch and learn, so that's convenient. And so I want you guys to really focus in on getting people on this for that Thursday and Friday. Okay, we've got a flyer. It's been in the team announcements and Boxer and everything. And so that's next week. Okay, but we'll still be on here Wednesday and Friday this week. And we have a winner. We have Jodian and Garfield have won a free t-shirt today for being at the Lunch and Learn. So I was trying to get them to answer me on chat, but let's see who's there today. If you guys are there, say hello. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was hoping you guys were still there. Yay! So I sent you a code from Doug, and she's very excited to gift you with that t-shirt. And that's part of why we're doing the t-shirt sale. So if you have sideline buddies who want to buy t-shirts, we want to give them away. That's really our preference, is to give. So make things fun, right? And we'll do that during conference too. So this Saturday, though, I forgot to mention, this Saturday is the global launch, all right? And so you want to be on that. Who knows what time that is?
It's at noon also.
12 to 3?
I thought it was at noon, no?
Okay, here we go.
I
Saturday.
said, yeah, 12.
Yeah.
He said
noon Eastern. Come on here on Saturday. So we're going to be on here Wednesday at noon, Friday at noon, Saturday at noon this week. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Next week, Monday and Wednesday, we won't be coming on here. Friday, we will at 12. But the night before, Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. So the 8th and the 9th are conference, U.S. conference. This Saturday is the global launch. Does that make sense? There's 3 sessions. So you can do it.
And I'm so excited to hear Bear Grylls again. The last time he was in Florida was when we had that Orlando conference, which was amazing. So I'm so excited for Saturday.
Bear Grylls. Is that who you were saying?
Yeah, Bear Grylls. Yep. Yep. And they had my little boys were Cub Scouts, so we brought our whole family down there, and the whole top floor above where we were at conference was loaded with 1,000 little Cub Scouts from around the country because Bear Grylls is some national master scout or something like that. I don't know, but
Right,
it was like a big event too.
Yeah, got run over. I was able to go and save some seats, but oh my gosh, you can't save seats fast enough.
Oh, it was amazing. So good.
So
Was that 8 years ago in Orlando?
Whenever it was in Orlando. Yeah, I don't
Wow,
remember.
yeah, that was 8 years ago. And I'm excited about Gary Vee because he's a huge influencer and he is so like wise when it comes to business and relationships. Like he's all about relationships and
Oh.
he is someone that has tapped into the millennial market and like he really is able to relate to them. So I feel like if you have any millennials that you're talking to about this business, invite them to hear the global event this Saturday because most millennials know who Gary Vee is. He usually has a potty mouth, but I'm sure he's going to clean it up for this. He's just like, he's amazing. I've been following him for like a year now, and I'm just always blown away by his wisdom and how relatable he is. And he's just, it's just basic human connection. And he talks a lot about that. So invite.
All right, so that's this weekend, Saturday.
Yeah.
So and meanwhile, in Team Transformers, we had 2 days of Fraser Brooks social media. There's no reason to say you don't know what to post. He gives you like 40 things to post on day 2. So if you just listen to day 2, you'll get a lot of content. So whenever you can, check that out. All right, guys, it's been great, and congratulations to Jodian and Garfield and their lovely princess. Why don't you guys show your camera? We want to say goodbye.
Amaziah, Princess Amaziah.
Here they come, right? Oh, look at oh my goodness, what a beautiful family.
Thank you.
Spot you guys so we can all see you. There we go. Congratulations. Thanks for always being on. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, too.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, have a good day.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So much, Sharon.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
And everything else.